Diane, Francisco mentioned a lot around, hybrid work and the way work is evolving since the pandemic. And I'm just curious about overall your view and what type of solutions do you think ONA can help us solve now?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, I think we've put managers in a really tough spot in that many organizations have pulled back from the kind of the edicts around when people come to the office, and they're leaving it up to the manager. And that's hard for a manager because they're going to have people who may not like their decisions, may not want to live with their decisions, and yet there's a lot of data out there to support managers around when people tend to be collaborating the most, not just what time of day or what days, but also during different cycles of the year. We all know that we go through different cycles in each of our areas. And also, we don't just collaborate inside of our unit. We collaborate very much outside of our units, right? And our managers may not even be aware of that because it's virtual. It's not like they're hanging around our office. So there is a need for the manager to have some evidence of, where collaboration tends to be the most intense. And this is, I think, is a wonderful way of looking at it. It's like an X-ray of the organization and the interactions that are taking place. So I think that's really phenomenal. And even if the decisions being made at the organization level or a location level, that will give that leader that kind of insight. And then, they can share the data with their employees and say, what do you think? And get employees to work not just from their own preconceptions or their own biases, but actually to understand, okay, well, there is a value to coming in for this kind of work, or, there seem to be these core hours, and I will work with those core hours to be available on my laptop if I'm working remotely or whatever. So I think those are insights that we can all be working with. The other thing that's really, I think, something that Francisco touched on, which I think is pretty exciting, is that it also enables us to think about role sharing. In today's world, where a lot of women are starting to realize that they don't have to work, full time. They may need to economically, but they may decide that role sharing, at least for a while, to as they go through the various changes that the pandemic has wrought for us, may be a good answer. And we've learned that we can virtually pair people on jobs. And again, this would help us figure out which are those jobs, what kind of role sharing is it across time zones, what would work. And I think that's a very exciting development that we can be using ONA for as we kind of come through the pandemic as well.